Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League, the Equal Performance League. I am your host with the most, Mark. Tonight, with me, as always, from the Performance League, the Realistic Performance League, the greatest American commentator of them all is Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Hey, Mac, what's going on? I am really excited. This is actually my first F3 race commentating with you, and actually the first F3 race of the season for me. I just had some issues. I was sick last week, and the week before I was just so busy, with college that it was like, oh man, like what am I gonna do? But I'm here now, and I am ready to watch this. I'm ready to just see the action. Absolutely
stuff here. There's quite a few drivers who are just coming out here right now, but I'm glad to see you joining for the very first time for the F3 League. I tell you what, you are going to be witnessing one of the bestest leagues on the edge of your seat battles here. So many battles left, right and centre here, and I cannot wait for it to happen here. From looking at the drivers here tonight, the majority of the drivers have gone out on the soft, so could we see some rain issues here, or were they just going to try and get the best start possible here in the Equal Performance? Now, what we witnessed last night in the Realistic Performance League, Tim, do you reckon this is going to be even closer than ever before? Or do you think it's going to be a two battle going on at the start there, like we saw from Sam and also from Jos yesterday in the Realistic Performance League?
Well, we're only 4 cars short of a full field here tonight, where last night we actually had a full 20 cars. So with only being 4 cars short of a full field, I mean, definitely that's going to, cause a lot of drama, perhaps, especially around the mid-pack like we saw yesterday. And as far as the tires go, I am actually surprised to see a lot of the drivers coming out right now on these soft tires, because, the hard tires and the mediums we saw yesterday more or less prevailed, with only one driver, I think, of F1 Mr. P starting on the softs. And we sadly didn't get to see fully what that strategy might or might not have been able to do, because he got involved in a collision which, effectively compromised the strategy.
Oh, no! Sorry, Tim. Mr. P is out of the qualifying. He is out of the qualifying. Vodtek has retired from the session as well. I'm not sure what happened with Vodtek as well, but as you was mentioning, he's crashed. Vodtek has crashed at turn 1. So, Mr. P lost it at after turn 4, the blind corner of turn 4. As you were saying, we would have liked to see what he would have done on the qualifying strategy, and to see that, unfortunately, Mr. P and Vodtek are both out of the qualifying so early in the qualifying stuff there, Tim. Not what you wanted to do, what you wanted to see at the start of the F3, brand new season F3 League, Tim.
No, that was absolutely surprising, and so early on in qualifying. It's a shame for both Logitech and F1 Mr. P, but thankfully for them, they will be able to have the car fixed for the race, and, they're going to be starting at the back, obviously, but they still can have a good race. They can still rebound. They're just going to have to nail the pit strategy and just play a clean, smart, patient race throughout the whole time.
They've got no choice. They've got to try and get a good start here. Because if you don't, you will lose that. Oh my days, there's that Racing Point. That was one of the Racing Point cars at the back. That was Nice Niels. Nice Niels lost it at the last corner there, Tim. It looked like he absolutely lost it at one point there, but he still managed to survive. He would have lost dearly there. We could have had 3 DNFs already at the qualifying at the start of this F3 League. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session, and we will have a look at the comments during the break here. But looking at this now, Nice Niels did a 121.5. So Luke Bailey's in the pole position now with 118 flat on the soft tyres though, on the soft tyres. Synchronously is in second place with 118.6. Nigel Gash is in third with 119.7. F1 Richard is in fourth with a 119.8. Who's that there? I think that was F1 Richard. F1 Richard is in fourth place. Brett Owens is in fifth. O'Steven is in sixth place. Steele is in seventh place. Nice Niels is in eighth place. Mike, Craig, Tinnis, Peter McLeod, Dre Gio and Suspud are the only ones who have not done a lap in yet. Vodtek and Mr. P are out of the qualifying after their early DNFs so far in this race. So far in this qualifying. So Tim, looking at the drivers that you've seen so far, I know you haven't seen much of F3 last season because I know you're doing the F1 league last season. But is there any drivers in there that you think that could do well this season?
Well, looking down the line, well, first of all, I am noticing a lot of different drivers that I recognize from other leagues, especially from yesterday. And Nitro Gash sitting right there in the 4th position in that Red Bull. He's looking promising. A 1:19.7 on the hard tires. Of course, if you want to talk about qualifying times, with synchronously having a 1:18.6 on the mediums, that's also very promising, with Luke Bailey currently the provisional pole sitter, but of course that is on the soft tires. And now you were saying yesterday, and we were talking just a little bit earlier, about how soft tires aren't really what someone would go for. So, maybe Luke Bailey's trying something different here, but he's actually going back out onto the track now. So, and he is on soft tires yet again, so we're going to see what he does here now.
So, with the tyre wears, as you were saying there, the tyre wear around here, so you can do 10 to 11 laps fresh. So roughly, if you have a good an out lap, do the lap, and then you in lap. Obviously, you knock off three laps. Three laps out of it. So 7 to 8 laps roughly if they start on the softs. So Craig's just gone back into the pits now. So what can Mike do on this point here? But mediums can last about 23 laps fresh, and the hards can last about 30 laps fresh. The best strategy to go for is the mediums to hards. So a majority of the drivers are going for the hards or the mediums at this point in time here. So Norris Niels has just gone even quicker on his best time there with a 1:18.5 Tim. Now, last season, obviously, Ferociouslan did win the Drivers' Championship and also the Constructors with F1 Richard, who's in the McLaren at the moment in 6th place. Brennan's on his day can be really, really good here. But yeah, with the strategy, you can do soft hards as well, but it just depends on how you're going to try and manage your tyre wear. If you don't want to leave it too late to last too long here at this moment in time. So Mike's just gone back into the pits now. Dre Gio is going to do his lapping now. So Dre Gio did win the first pre-season race back in the French Grand Prix here. So that was 2 weeks ago. So it looked like Dre Gio could be on fire to get a good start here. But obviously you don't want to write your book on one lap, one race itself. You've got to do it like endurance races throughout the whole season of 12 races at the Invictus Race League, the F3 League, Tim. Is there any... have you... With Hungary, do you like the track?
Actually, yes, I do like the track. And, like I said yesterday, I've only played it on the previous... on the previous version, so... But still, it's a very nice track, and it's a really fast track, but also a technical track. And that actually does kind of... I like technical tracks, despite them maybe being frustrating because it's easy to make a mistake. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, I'm sure Mr. P and Vodtech will need to have a really good start at the back of the grid. If they do well to try and get a podium or like at least top 5, that would be an amazing achievement. Don't you agree, Tim?
Yes, definitely. And speaking of the back of the grid, if you look down the line, there is Titus in the racing position. And he, while you were talking about that, Mount, actually going into a corner, he got really loose. And all of a sudden with the grass, I thought for a minute he was going into the wall, but he was able to hang on to it. And now he's going to start his first timed lap of this qualifying session.
Yeah, that. To be fair, all the drivers are all out of the pits. Have all got at least try and make a time out of it. Here we've got 8 minutes 45 left of the qualifying here, Tim. So at the moment here, Luke Bailey did get even quicker than ever before here with 1:17.6. One of the Alfa Romeos has just gone off track there. That might be BW Clyde on there. So, yeah, that might be BW Clyde. Or BW Clyde got into 5th there with 1:19.3. That's still cracking of a time there. Brennan's did 1:18.8 on the hards. Synchronously did 1:18.6 on the mediums, and Jonas Niels did 1:18.5 on the mediums as well. But Luke Bailey is the only one that's hitting the 1:17s at this moment in time here. But like I said, I'd like to see how Mr. P and Vodtech, and also whoever's at the back there. Oh my days, who's that?
And there is a Renault. There was a Renault. Who was that? It was Dre Gio. He was around.
Yeah. What happened on your side, Tim?
I was watching tennis. I'm not sure. All I know is that as tennis went by, I noticed in the camera that there was just a Renault sitting, almost in the middle of the race.
Oh!
And then I couldn't. What's going on?
Sorry about that, Tim. I do apologise. Tennis nearly lost the back end of that car there. There's quite a few drivers who are making a little bit of mistakes here and there on the first race of the brand new season of the first qualifying session here of the Victorious Racing League, the F3 League here. But I only saw a glimpse of the Renault car of Dragio, who looked like he made a massive mistake just before the end of the second sector into third. But I just thought he might see if there was any other info from your side to see what happened there, Tim.
No, unfortunately, I did not see that, and I didn't see tennis lose the back end. I was actually watching Dragio, so it just seems that I'm not watching the right ones at the moment, but I am watching tennis at the moment. Looks like he's going to stay out here, maybe try to do another flying lap. He already has 2 laps on those hard tires, though, but going to take a look now at F1 Richard 67, who is on his outlap right now. He is in the 9th position with a 119.465. He's right now out on the medium tire, so we'll look to see if that improves after he finishes his outlap.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens from F1 Richard there. I was watching Nigel Gash there try and do his lap in there. Spud just moved up to 6th place with a 119 flat there. So I'm going to watch Mike now. So Mike and Craig are the only ones, Tim, who have not got a time at all yet. But I will say this now. I would watch out for Craig, because there's been a few races last season where he was right at the back and shot himself back into the podium stuff during the race. So Craig's one of those drivers who can produce the goods at the back of the grid when it matters there. But let's just see what happens here with some of the drivers here tonight. We're coming to 5 minutes 45 left of the qualifying here. Just see what happens in this situation here. We've got, I tell you what, Luke Bailey's doing a cracker of a job there with 117.6. Oh, Mike's going back into the pits. He's teasing us, Tim. He's absolutely teasing us. Madness. Absolutely madness. Tim.
That he is, and as you were speaking about Luke Bailey having a 117.6, it looks as though Dragio is actually going to maybe take a note out of Luke Bailey's strategy book, and he himself is actually went out on the soft tires right now. He's going to try to set a lap. Right now his lap is a 120.2, but I'm pretty sure that was set on hard tires. So let's see if that will improve, and with soft tires, providing he doesn't make a mistake, it's almost guaranteed to.
That was the, sorry to clarify with the info there, it was the medium tire that he did the time on with the 120.2 Dragio. So Craig's going to do his actual proper lapping now. Nigel Gash has moved up to 4th place, back into 4th with the medium tyres with 118.7 now. Yellow flag set to 1, we're just going yellow flag. No! Craig's just survived. He just survived there. He was an absolutely lucky bloke there. Absolutely madness that he would have lost the back end there proper. He was absolutely lucky there. Absolutely lucky. Sorry about that, Tim. There's been a few drivers who've just moved up now. It looked like F1 Richards moved up to 2nd place there. Yes, he has. He's moved up to 2nd place with 118.2. So the times are kicking in now. They're all racking in now. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
Watching Nice Niels, because as Craig was going by him, Niels was actually in the grass there for a minute, and he does not have a front wing on that racing equipment machine at all. No front wing at all. Not sure what happened, but he has definitely gotten in the wall, and he is definitely going to be coming to the pits.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully Nice Niels will get enough time to get back out on here. But I was looking at the tyre times, like the delta times. Now, the mediums can... between the softs and the mediums, they're about 1.3 seconds per lap. So, like I said, the guys who are on the softs at the moment, obviously Luke is the only one who's just got in the softs. They can do well, but like I said, they can only do about 10 to 11 laps fresh, but probably about 7 to 8 laps on the track itself. Dragio's moved up to 2nd place now with 118 flat now. So that's
that was on the soft tires, Malk, as you were saying, with Luke and now Dre Gio being the only one. Sorry to interrupt you there. Go ahead.
No, sorry, carry on. You're absolutely fine there. 117.3 from Luke Bailey. He's improved his time now. So can anyone try and beat Luke Bailey's time here? Synchronised is coming up to the final bit now, and he's done a 118.348. A 118.348. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
Still watching Dre Gio, but I'm going to go down the line and take a look at Steel B66, who is right now going to be completing his flying lap. We'll see if he improves. Yes, he does. He moves up to the 6th position, a 118.568 for Steel B. That's
a brilliant time there from Steel in the Mercedes crew in 6th place there. So that's still cracking over time there. This is absolutely fantastic stuff here, whatever happens here. But look at this now. We got 2 minutes 10 left. Oh, this is going to be on the edge of your seats here, Tim. Bye. Bad timing with the bird. This is absolutely fantastic stuff there. Oh, no! Steel lost it at the back end there, turn 4. So, looking at it, turn 4 is the casualties at the moment there. Also, turn 1 has been the casualties as well for some of the drivers there. They'll be absolutely cautious there. They've got to be absolutely careful there. Last night, there was no problems at all with those 2 corners. Now, tonight, there's been a few issues left, right, and centre there. Obviously, it's your first race of the brand new season, but you don't want to make any mistakes here at the start of the race. Tim?
No, you definitely don't. And so the drivers are going to have to make sure that they have their tires warmed up properly during the formation lap. And we're really going to have to keep an eye on the turn 1 right on the opening and definitely look back in the midfield. I'm not saying that I want a bunch of people's races to be ruined, but considering that it's turn 1, turn 4, and even the final corner you were saying earlier in the session, because it is those corners, you just have to pay a lot of attention to that and just make sure. Excuse me now, and the drivers are just going to have to make sure that they're really patient through those corners.
Absolutely, Tim. I hope you're okay and well. Reynolds has moved up to 2nd place with 117. He's hit the 117s, but he's on the mediums. But he's on the medium tyre as well. F1 Ridge is out of the race. He's out of the qualifying here. I think he's retired in the pits, I think. Anyway, but so Spud is coming up to the final corner now, and he's into 3rd place there with 118 flat on the mediums. 30 seconds left on the qualifying here. Who's going to try and beat Luke Bailey's time of 117.318? Can Nice Neil's going to do his proper lap in here. Nigel Gash, we're going to try and improve. He's on the soft tyres at the moment. Stevens on the medium tyres as well. Mike and Craig, they're both gone for the medium tyres. So I'm going to watch Craig's point of view here. Can he try and improve his time here? He's only got 1 shot left here. He's got to be absolutely careful there through the second part of the section here. And time has finished for the qualifying. They have stopped the fans of the Crystal Maze, but I tell you what, they have stopped the qualifying of the F3 League on the brand new season of the Invictus Racing League at the Hungarian Grand Prix here. Luke Bailey is in pole position here at the moment here, but can anyone try and spoil the party here? Watching Craig at the moment here now. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
Watching Mike SI in the 13th position right now. Of course, he does not yet have a time on the board, so this will be his one and only time. Watching him right now, he is on the medium tires, and we're going to see if maybe he can better Luke Bailey. Right now, the best medium tire time on the board is 2nd with Gridons. It is a 117.7. What's going on?
Craig's moved up to 3rd with a 117.9. That's a brilliant time there from Craig there. I'm going to go back to Mike here, as you were saying, Tim. He's coming up to the final corner now. Oh, he's done it well. He moves up to 10th. He finishes in 10th place here. Oh, what a qualifying there. This is absolutely fantastic stuff there. Oh, right. 2 drivers out of the top 10 are in the softs. Well, majority of the drivers have gone for the mediums as well. But I'd like to see what Steele, Nitrogash, Tinnis, BDB Clyde, Vodtech and F1 Mr. P are going to go for tonight in the Hungarian Grand Prix for the F3 League. What a qualifying there, Tim.
What a qualifying session indeed there, Malk, with every driver being able to set a time except for Vodtech and except for our 2 DNFs of Vodtech and F1 Mr. P, who really early on in the qualifying session, they had some issues. But we're going to see now what happens with them and what they're going to do with their pit strategy and see if maybe they can recover their race. And I'm going to go ahead and mention, look at Sir Spud in 4th place with a birthday boy yesterday.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Like I said, Luke Bailey's in 1st place, Brennan's is in 2nd, Craig is in 3rd, Sir Spud 4th, Dre GL 5th, F1 Richard 6th, Tickle is 7th, Stephen 8th, Nice Deals 9th, Mike is in 10th, Steele in 11th, Nigel Gash 12th, Tillis 13th, Beanie McCoy 14th. I can't remember the rest of the drivers there, but I know, I think it was Fodtech and F1 Mr. P as well. So we do the usual advertisements, guys, as well. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session. Mr. P was mentioning in the comments there saying he's gutted. Strategy here was soft to hard. We'll see what he can do from the back. Good evening to Alessandro. He says, would it be possible to join the league from next week? I applied, but I'm not sure if I could. We'll have to get one of the admins to get in touch with you, mate, if you want to try and join in. We'll have to do a test, obviously, before we see how you can do to try and join into the league by next week. Good evening to Ronaldo as well. Hope you're okay and well. Right, the usual advertisements there. We do the Invictus Race League channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for all the live races here as well. We've got the Monday night, which is the F1 League / the used to be the former No Assist League on in the Monday nights with the greatest commentary duo of them all in Gareth and Sab. Myself and Tim do the Performance League on the Tuesday nights, the Realistic Performance League on the Tuesday nights. You've got Warris Lander and Energy Dan for F2 and for tonight, and myself and Tim again live and exclusive for you guys on the F3 channel. We'll have to wait and see what happens here as well. And also make sure you check out for the podcast as well on the Thursday nights on the YouTube channel with Gareth and Sab to talk about the real life F1 and also the latest updates of the Invictus Racing League. They do great podcast as well. They do fantastic stuff as well. Not only are we on YouTube, but we're also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. So make sure you follow and subscribe to those channels for all the latest updates as well. But if you want to be right into it, please check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest updates. And if you want to register to join in, as Alessandro did, make sure you register and apply, sign into the Apply to Race, and hopefully one of the admins will get in contact with you to check out what's going to happen there as well. So, Sonaldo says, prediction on who's winning. It's going to be tough because you had Dragio who won the first pre-season race. You've had some great battles there from everyone here as well. So it could be anyone's start. I don't want to go overboard here, but I think if it depends on if Brennan and Craig and Spud can hold on with those medium tyres to last and then into the hards near the end of the race, that'll be perfect stuff as well. So it's going to be tough, I think, but it just depends on how Mr. P and Vontek and all the others are trying to bounce back from the back there. 35 laps. Tim, what's your top 3 predictions in any order?
Top 3 predictions in any order. I'm going to go Sir Spud, Luke Bailey, and Dragio.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. Let's put your money in. If you want to place your bets, guys, send them in. And we're about to kick off with the very first race of the brand new season of the F3 League. So, Tim, I'll let you do the honours to start it up.
An honour it is indeed. Now, my first F3 race of the season, and since commentating for Invictus, right now we're watching all the drivers finding their place on the grid, and here momentarily we will be going green and heading down into turn 1 to see all the action from the Invictus Racing League's F3 Geek League. And there you hear those itchy pedal feet, you hear those engines revving, and we are about ready to go green. The drivers are sitting there on the grid, all lined up, with 5 red lights in the air, and now it is 0 red lights in the air, and it is green flag heading down into turn 1 for the Invictus Racing League's F3 Equal League. Luke Bailey getting an early lead with Brennan's in the McLaren, and Greg in third right now. It is 4, 5 wide, and a Mercedes has been pushed over into the grass. I don't know who by, but a Mercedes is into the grass, but a nice recovery indeed. Meanwhile, a Racing Point machine, I think of Nice Nils, might have been going wide there into turn 1. Now out of turn 1, heading into turn 2. Looking back in the middle of the pack, it is a Renault, McLaren, and Renault 3 wide through this corner.
Oh, this has been an absolutely brilliant start here for the F3 League. This is absolutely fantastic stuff there. What you were saying earlier. Oh no, there's been a crash!
And now there is contact. There is contact between a Renault and the Racing Point machine of Nice Nils, and Nice Nils has officially spun. He has spun out, going all the way back down to the 15th position.
He did not want that at all. There was an incident with one of the Renault cars there, so that will have to be checked after the race there. But that was just unlucky. That was really unlucky there from Nice Nils. But as you were saying earlier, it was another Renault that got caused by the Mercedes to go into the grass there, but a little bit of knock there. So one of the Alfa Romeos on my days, Dre Diaz goes side by side with F1 Richie, makes the move. What a move there from Dre Diaz there. Fantastic stuff there, Tim.
Yeah, just watching that move right now, and now it is the Renaults running nose to tail, more or less in the 5th and 6th position of Synchronously and Dre Gio. Now to complete lap 1 in his lap 2 now, with Luke Bailey getting the fastest lap that time, a 1:25.674. He is out to only a half a second lead over the McLaren of Brennan's, but they have a 1.1 second lead, more or less, on the rest of the field, with Greg being in the 3rd position right now, followed closely by Sir Spud.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest movers at the moment here, Vodtech and also Mr. P as well. They've made some good moves there as well. So Vodtech moves up to 10th, and Mr. P moves up to 13th place after they started right at the back of the grid there. Yellow flag set to 2. Brennan's is out! Brennan's is out of the race! Oh, I told you, turn 4 was the casualty for the drivers there. And look what happens. Brennan's is the first driver of the brand new season to be the DNF guy there. No, I did not want that at all. Tim!
And unfortunately, I did not see what happened, but I did in fact see the McLaren sitting at the side of the track in the grass with a left front wheel missing, and just bad luck for Brennan's. Not sure what happened there, like I said, but very unfortunate, but also big developments early on here in the F3 race.
Yeah, absolutely. So look at Mr. P! Mr. P's going for the inside! Oh, what a move! Oh, Tinnis nearly went to the side of Steele there. Steele, Nice Steele.
There's contact behind them between Steele and Nice Steele. Sorry now, but there was contact, and Steele has been pushed wide. That's a second time in this race that a Mercedes has been pushed wide into the grass. Not sure if it has been Steele both times or not.
I don't know. I could not see what happened there in that sense there. But from that moment in point of view, there's been a few instances left, right and centre. During the start of the lap, we're only on lap 3 of the Victor's Racing League, the F3 League. We've got the 2 Ferraris in the top 3. We've got the 2 Renaults in the 4th and 5th, and then we also got Peter McLeod and Vodtech in 8th and 9th. So the teammates are all linked together here. So if you was driving with your teammate here, would you want to do it by team orders, or do you think you should race for position here, Tim?
I am not a fan of team orders, and I never will. However, I do believe that you should race your teammate cleanly and with respect. So, no team orders. Go ahead and race. It's anyone's race. But for all that you know, do not touch, race cleanly. Work together if you have to. Absolutely.
That's the old motto there. Hopefully that'll be the way to go forward there. But looking at this now, Luke Bailey's trying to pull away from Craig there with 1.420. Luke Bailey's got the fastest lap of the race. No, I do apologise. Craig has got the fastest lap of the race with 1:22.106. But look at Dre Gia now. Dre Gia is trying to be closer to Synchronously now for 4th place here. Going to try and make the move. He's trying to make the move. Suspension got 3-second top. That's got multiple warnings. Synchronously. Oh, they was going side by side there, but you don't want to lose too much there because Steven. Oh my days! Steven tried to go on the outside of the track there, but he got caught out by one of the Renaults there as well. So I tell you what, that was close battle there, left, right, centre there. But let's hope we see some more clean battles there as we go on throughout the race in here, Tim.
Yes, we will. And of course, unfortunate time for Sir Spud, as you mentioned. Now going down the field. Now I'm looking at Steven getting really close to synchronously in that Ritto. Not yet trying to make a move, but he is gaining on him less than half a second now, separating the two drivers. And even behind him, the McLaren of F1 Richard 67. He is about half a second, give or take, maybe a little bit more, behind Steven 002. And so this is essentially what we have, a 3-car battle for the 5th place position right now.
This is absolutely, we'll be having the train moment here from Synchronossity's point of view here. But like I said, with the medium tyres can last about 23 laps, especially if you started on them. You can go up to like lap 16, I think, 16, 17. Steven makes the move to 5th. He makes the move to 5th. Absolutely managed to there. Synchronosity's got a bit of wing damage as well. He's got a bit of wing damage. That's why he's losing a little bit of time there on the straights there. On the left-hand side there, Tim.
Yeah, and now synchronously, he's just going to have to watch that Mercedes roll ways. It looks like Steven is definitely faster than him at the moment, and here before too long, he is going to have a rear view mirror full of F1 Richard 67, who in that McLaren is getting ever so closer to synchronously. Of course, he's kind of diamonding that corner there, and synchronously was able to pull away a little bit, getting a better exit than Richard. But now, heading into this chicane, he is ever so much closer. Yeah,
absolutely immense stuff there. F1 Mr. P's gone into the points barrier now. He's in 10th place. Steele's dropped down to 13th now. This is absolutely madness stuff here. Craig's shot himself into the first position here with 4/10 now, Tim. So there's so many battles left, right and centre here. You don't know which one to pick for the start at the race here. You just don't know what to expect. But at this moment in time here, I cannot pick a winner here. I cannot pick a winner. Can you?
No, I cannot. Luke Bailey, of course, running in the first position right now is looking pretty good, but Craig, who is on medium tires and likely will have better tire wear, at least in this first stint, is gaining on him. Of course, Craig having the fastest lap and about half a second behind him.
Absolutely. Yellow flag set to 1. Yellow flag set to 1, so something must happen there for Benjamin Clyde. Benjamin Clyde has lost it at turn 1. He has lost it at turn 1 there. Tim.
Yes, and just watching him, he is in the grass right now and pulling away back out onto the track, but he does not have a right side of that front wing. Half of it is just completely gone. Not sure what happened there, but in fact, no, he does have some of the front wing, but nonetheless, he's going to have to pull in and get damage repaired. Not sure what happened to him there.
We'll have to wait and see what happens in this moment in time. Let's hope if Beatty McLeod does pit, he can try and do the undercut there, but you're going to have to be careful with traffic there as well. But it depends on when the guys are going to try and pit in at this moment in time. Like I said, we're on lap 6 to 35 of the Victor Social League, the F3 League. Steve is trying to close in on Dre GL for 4th and 5th respectively here, but we might have a 3-car battle here at the moment.
And now, Nice Niels in the racing boat machine. He has now spun around and is into the grass. Do not think he has any wing damage. Not sure who he was battling with, but now he has dropped back all the way to the 14th position. He had just spun around, but a nice save by Nice Niels, just locking it up and sliding into the grass.
Oh! Craig's moved up to pole position here into first place, but can Luke Bailey try back in? He makes the move again. Oh, this could be a tournament. We could have a tournament situation here. Can he try to make the move? No! This is absolutely madness still there. He nearly done it. He nearly done it there, Craig. I'm not going to have any voice at the end of this race, Tim.
I'm watching this battle from Sir Spud's point of view, on board with him and Craig going a little bit wide and maybe getting his car a little upset on those curves. So Craig has now dropped back a little bit, but still running in the second position. But Sir Spud was really close to him there for a minute. Now the 1, 2, 3 cars are running nose to tail, more or less. Craig maybe going to try to make a run at Luke Bailey here soon. Absolutely.
The tyre wear of the softs look like they're about to be shot off here. I reckon it up to like lap 7, 8 when the tyres would be kicking in. It just depends on when Luke Bailey is pitting, possibly for the 1 stop of the hards, or it could be the 2 stop of the mediums, the soft mediums when you can as well. But what we haven't seen mostly is the safety cars as well. It's Luke Bailey. Luke Bailey's in the pits. Luke Bailey's in the pits. Craig is the new leader of the F3 League of the Hungarian Grand Prix there. So fantastic stuff there so far. So the 2 Ferraris having a ding-dong battle here at this moment in time. So Luke Bailey is in the pits for the hard tyre. So that will be which would be the one and only pit stop there. It just depends if he gets stuck in traffic there. But, oh, Nitrogas in 8th place here. We'll lose that to 9th to Steele. They try and go side by side here. Oh, Steele. Oh, my days, there was two in the beds there. But can Nitrogas needs to go on the inside. Oh, no, there's been contact there between Nitrogas and Steele. There's been contact there, and because of that, this has brought Mike into play there. And I'll tell you what, we might have a 3 in the bed in a moment here. We might have a 3 in the bed to try and go around the inside. I think Steele is losing a little bit of communication there, or losing a bit of tracking on the car there. So
yeah, there's definitely some issue there with Steele. I was actually going to mention that, Matt. Sorry for interrupting you there, but undoubtedly wind damage on both Steele's car and Nitro Gash's car. Unsure what happened there. I was watching it, and it just looked like maybe they ran out of real estate going into turn 2.
What happened was Steele and Nitro Gash had a little bit of contact there at turn 2 there. Hence why there was a bit of front wing damage there at turn 2, Tim.
Yeah, like I said, it just looked like they ran out of real estate where two cars trying to run one racing line and they just simply collided. Not sure what else to call it. It is very unfortunate though for both drivers.
Absolutely. But Mr. P is in 5th place here. Mr. P is in 5th place. Luke Bailey. Is Luke Bailey gone? No, sorry, that was Nitrogas. Nitrogas has gone into the pits. I was going to say, was that Luke Bailey again? Gone back into the pits, but that wasn't. So, Synchronized has got the fast lap of the race now with 120.5. Right, 2 Ferraris battling out for the top 2 here. Tim, sorry about that. Like I said, the 2 Ferraris are battling out in the top 2. As I said, we have to wait and see what happens in this moment in time here.
Yeah, and currently I'm watching Luke Bailey right now, who's out on his fresh set of soft tires. Right now only having one lap on those tires, and he is chasing down Mike SI in the Haas machine right now. He's gaining on him a little bit. Mike, of course, 8 laps on those medium tires, so he can still go just a little bit longer before he's going to have to pit. But already Luke Bailey is starting to gain on him and might be passing him very shortly. Yeah,
I have to wait and see what happens in this moment in time here. See what happens here at this moment in time with Sir Spud trying closing on Craig now, but at this moment in time here, just have to wait and see. At this point here, we've got Synchronized to try and close in on Steele now for 10th place here from 11th. So Steele's gone a little bit wide there. So have to wait and see what happens in this moment in time here. Like I said, I'll let you carry on, Tim. I'll let you carry on.
Meanwhile, F1 Mr. P and Logitech, who started at the back of the pack, they are right now running 5th and 6th. Of course, they have yet to make a pit stop. F1 Mr. P electing to start on the hard tires with Logitech on the medium tires. But right now, they are running 5th and 6th, and so far, a decent recovery by them. We'll see what happens to them after the pit stops. Of course, that won't be for a little while, as right now they have 9 laps on those tires. The medium tires, of course, lasting quite a bit longer than the soft tires, which we saw Luke Bailey come and pit about lap 7 or 8. Of course, now he will be going to the end of the race on those hard tires, and Sir Spud, running in the 2nd position now, is starting to catch Craig just ever so slightly. Just ever so slightly, he is able to catch Craig. Not sure if he's going to be able to do anything with it or not, but we are going to have to find out. Sir Spud right now, 0.7 seconds, 0.8 seconds now behind Craig, going down the straight, but he's going to try to get slipstream. He does have the DRS, so Sir Spud might be able to make something happen with the DRS. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. Going down into turn 1, he has decreased the gap down to half a second right now, but not able to make it past right now. And in fact, Craig got a much better exit out of 1 than Sir Spud was able to. So now going into turn 2, Craig and Sir Spud still battling it out. 0.6 seconds now separating them to their closest competitor behind them is O. Steven 002 with a 3.2 second gap behind him, with Craig now going that uphill blind corner, and O. Steven actually getting on the curb a little bit more than maybe he wanted to. It looked like he got his car just a little bit upset there, but he recovered it very nicely. Craig, meanwhile, getting just a little bit loose there out of turn 4, turn 5, now heading into the chicane, and Sir Spud is starting to gain on him just a little bit more now. Of course, both Ferraris right now battling it out, and Craig still holding this lead.
Yeah, still, he's doing an absolutely fantastic job there, Tim. Looking at this battle there between Mike and Luke Bailey now for 7th and 8th, respectively here. To see what happens at this moment in time. looking at this now, the two battles going on between Luke Bailey and Mike, and Signos in Steel now for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th respectively here, and also Craig and Sir Spud now with that lots of battles there so far, Tim.
Yes, definitely. And going back down the grid now, watching Luke Bailey 3 laps down on those hard tires. He's moved up into 7th. Mike SI 10 laps on those medium tires. He gets actually in the grass just a little bit. Looks like he is kind of struggling here at this racetrack. And meanwhile, going up the grid again, F1 Richard 67, 1.7 seconds behind O. Steven. Looks like he might get the gain on him, but we'll have to see what happens here. 11 laps now on the tires. 11 laps on the medium tires there. Who will be the first one to make a pit stop and win?
Sorry about that, we just had some technical difficulties there. So, looking at lap 12 and 35 on the Invictus Race League, the F3 League. Sorry about that, Tim. Just had some technical issues there with the mic as well. Look at this battle here from Craig and Spud now. At the moment, there's a little bit of gaps in between here and there at this moment in time. What's your battle so far, Tim?
Well, right now I've just been watching BWA Clyde, who is just pitted, and he has 1 lap now on the hard tires going up the field now. Not really seeing a lot of battles going on. Of course, synchronously, looks like he's starting to gain on Mike SI. Of course, synchronously has 5 laps on those soft tires, where Mike SI is still on the original set of tires that he started this race with. And so synchronously now chasing down that Haas machine. We're going to see what he can do with it and win. I think it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he's able to get past him. We're going to see if he can get by him now or if he's going to have to wait in a big run. Synchronously got a big run on Mike, and now they're heading around the final corner. Going down the straightaway, I feel that synchronously is going to get the DRS and undoubtedly be able to pass Mike SI going into the run.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it depends if Synchronously can try and get that laps in. He might have to go to the mediums at the end of the race here, as he's trying to get some decent positions here when he can at this moment in time. Brennan just said absolutely good. It was on for a great result here. Absolutely good. Oh no! Sorry, Synchronously went to the back of Mike there for 8th place here. Absolutely manic stuff there. That could have been ended nastily there, but still Synchronously try and get to the back, try and get past Mike here as quickly as possible. This track is more awkward with the overtakes here. Dre G has got a 3-second time out of multiple warnings now. Tim.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate for Dre Gio, who just cannot seem to have things go his way in this race. However, we're going to move up the field now and take a look at the battle for the lead as Sir Spud is now over a second. He was for a minute under a second, but he does not have DRS on Craig now, so we're going to see what happens there. But he is still gaining on him a little bit as they head down into turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely stuff here. Still watching Mike and Synchronously at the moment here from this from the channel here. But like I said, this is absolutely fantastic stuff. Whatever happens here tonight. Oh, is that? That's one of the Mercedes there. Oh, Steele has dropped at the back from turn 13 there. So something must happen there from Steele's point of view there. But Votek is going to the pits now, which will be his one and only pit stop of the hard tyres now. But fair play to Mr. P, who's shot himself from the back into 5th place here, Tim.
Yeah, indeed. Now, F1 P having a decent race, in fact, a pretty good race after having to start at the back, like you said. Of course, him and Vojtek both had to start the back when Vojtek just now got out of the pits, and he is taking on those hard tires. 0 laps right now on those hard tires since he just pulled out of the pit, so we'll see what he can do. This will undoubtedly be his one and only pit stop, barring any catastrophe for him, as it is lap 14 of 35 in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Madness stuff here. But Synchronously needs to get past Mike. If he wants to get some decent running here, he needs to get past Mike, because Mike's a good defender here. He's always a good defender. It's very hard to get past Mike. If you do, then you've got breathing space there. But Mike's so defensive here. You need to try and be absolutely spot on there with the player. Because I was racing against him on a few seasons ago in the same track as well, and he always shots off at the last corner there. Yellow flag set to 2. Votek has dropped down to 13. So Mike's going to the pits now. Mike's gone to the pits. F1 Richard and O'Steven are going to the pits for their hard tyres now. Just watching from Synchronously's point of view. Has that cost him big time here into the pits? It has. It's lost a bit of time there because F1 Richards just coming out, Anno Stevens just come out as well. So Synchronicity's lost quite a few positions there from this moment in time there.
And Wojciech has spun yet again 2 times within 2 corners. Wojciech has spun. Definitely struggling on those hard tires right now. He's all the way down to 15th position, as now it looks like Mike is finally in the pits.
Yeah, it looks like Mike will have to go full on here to try and get past. But look at Peter McLeod, try closing on nice Niels now for 12th place here. 3/10 off there from 12th and 13th place. But Peter McLeod needs to try and bounce back here after that early drop down from the positions there earlier on in the race here. We're on lap 15 and 35 of the Vintage League, the F3 League. Tim.
Right now, I am watching the battle between Nice Niels and BWA Clyde. However, it looks like maybe this battle is starting to calm down. A battle that might be starting to pick up is Synchronously and F1 Richard. Synchronously over a second behind F1 Richard now, but he was gaining on it there for a little bit. Looks like Synchronously might have actually had. No, he is actually making his pit stop. Synchronously going into the pit stop, so a 2-stop strategy for him. But of course, 8 laps on those soft tires. That is about their lifespan, give or take. So Synchronously now going into pits to make his final stop.
Absolutely. But like I said, Luke Bailey's just gone past the Spud now for 3rd place here. So Luke Bailey could be in for his first podium. Bear in mind though, Luke Bailey did had a great start last season in the F3, but then during the middle part of the season, he had some really unlucky results there, and then at the end he shot himself back up to the podium as where I was expecting to be from the start of the brand new season last season as well. But anything can happen there. Tinnis has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now, so did not want that at all. So Steele could be closer to Dre Gio now for 7th place here, but we've got a 3-car barrier from Synchronicity, Nice Niels and BW Clyde at this moment in time. Craig is going into the pits now, so Mr. P, if he still goes out there, he will be out into the lead after starting at the back of the grid there. So that will be a fantastic achievement there, whatever happens here. Yeah, Mr. P is in the new leader now of the Vintage League, the F3 League. Fantastic stuff there, Tim.
Yes, fantastic indeed. And Craig now coming back out onto the track. Looks like he's going to rejoin in about the 3rd position, maybe the 4th position. We'll see here in a minute if Sir Spud's able to get by him.
Oh!
Yes, he does. Sir Spud has gotten by him. No, they are running side by side. Not quite gotten by him yet. The 2 Ferraris running side by side.
Oh, this is going to be 2 in the beds. We've got 2 in the beds. Don't do this to us. So Spud moves up to 3rd. Craig drops down to 4th now. So the 2 Ferraris have no team orders here. They're still going out there. They're still going there. This is absolutely manic stuff there. So Spud's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Tim.
Yes, and that is going to really play into the end of this race. Sir Spud, of course, ahead of Craig now, and Sir Spud maybe could win physically, but remember he does have that 3-second time penalty, so that could be an issue. And meanwhile, Luke Bailey on the hard tires moving up to 2nd right now. F1 Mr. P, who started at the back of the field, is now leading this race with 16 laps on his hard tires, so we'll see what his plans are and what he does as far as his pit strategy goes, but he's staying out for yet another lap at least. And of course, you said that the the hard tires can go about 30 laps, so we might just be seeing Mr. P try to pull that off. Might do,
but like I said, then he might just pit early for the mediums and last and try and be as quick as possible, because the majority of the drivers, whatever happens here, let me have a look at the leader. So at the moment it's normally about 26 seconds of the gap, so he will drop himself right back down to 8th placer, so that's still a good recovery there. But look at Sir Spud. Sir Spud's going around the outside.
Oh! There's a move on the outside. Will he be able to get by Luke Bailey? Not this time.
No, but Luke Bailey, oh my days, Luke Bailey nearly lost the back end there. But Sir Spud tried to, no, don't do this to me on turn 4. Still holding on, he's still holding on there. This is absolutely manic stuff there. Tim.
Yeah, and I'm still watching it on the edge of my seat. In fact, I am not even in a seat right now. I've barely been in a seat for most of this race. Luke Bailey, 14, of course, now pulling away from Sir Spud, 72. So Sir Spud may be trying to pull these tires right now. We'll see what happens, but Luke Bailey now has found some speed. Got it going a little bit wide to get into the dirt there, but he was able to hang on to it, and it's going to stay in front of Sir Spud, at least for the moment. Everybody, though, in this race chasing F1 with speed, who has an 11.3 second lead, and he has now decided to go into the pits. F1 and Mr. P into the pits after 17 laps on the hard tires. What will he do? Almost undoubtedly, like you said, now hitting early for those medium tires. We'll see what he does here in a minute.
Yeah, you have to go mediums. He's got no choice. He's got to go mediums. He can't go softs. No chance now. But look at Sir Spud. Sir Spud's going to try and go around the outside. Can he try with the move? Oh, what a move! What a move! What a move! But he's still going. He's still going. Sir Spud is in the lead. Sir Spud is in the lead here. But bear in mind, though, he's got a 3-second time penalty there, so that will compromise his race here. As long as he gets a 3-second gap between himself and Luke Bailey, it doesn't make any more contact with any penalties there. Tim!
Yeah, and Sir Spud does have, in fact, he has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Meanwhile, Luke Bailey does not have any. So, as it sits right now, Sir Spud with 6 seconds in a time penalty. Luke Bailey is technically leading this race, but physically, it is a battle between Sir Spud and Luke Bailey on lap 19 of 35, with Sir Spud so far having the advantage. Luke Bailey, though, trying everything he can to get by him, but not able to do it. And meanwhile, Craig, just behind Luke Bailey, is now going to look on his inside. Maybe going to make the move, but not able to this time. And Craig, all on the back bumper of Luke Bailey, and even behind him is the Mercedes of Bruce Steven, who is right on the back bumper of Craig. So essentially, we have a 3-car battle for the second position.
Oh, Craig's going to try. It looked like Craig was going to try to go for the inside there, but he'll have the slipstream now. He'll have the slipstream. Look at this now. Craig should have the slipstream here of Luke Bailey's car there. He's going to try to go over the inside. Move! What a move! What a move there from Craig, but Luke Bailey will try and bounce back here as quickly as possible. O'Stephen wants to try and join the party here to get into the podium stuff here. Like I said, O'Stephen was one of those drivers who was absolutely immense stuff after all the struggles that he's had for the last few seasons. Can he make his maiden win at this moment in time? If he can, has O'Stephen got any penalties, Tim?
I will check on that here in just a moment, but looking down the line so far, I'm not seeing O'Stephen at all. So it looks like Sir Stephen is, in fact, in the clear.
Oh, okay, pardon me. But like I said, if he can try and get past Luke Bailey here, because at the moment here, Luke Bailey's going to go all the way to the end of the race here with the hard tyres at this moment in time here. And like I said, if O'Stephen can try and get back into the top 3, that'll be a fantastic achievement there for O'Stephen there, who's doing a brilliant job here to try and put the pressure on Luke Bailey now for 3rd place here. He's doing a brilliant job here at this moment in time. But Sir Spud is pulling away from Craig there with 1.6 second gap now. We've got a couple of battles going on. We might have the 3-car battle, which we're watching live and exclusive for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. We've got F1 Richard and Mr. P for 5th and 6th now. So Mr. P could have a chance here to try and... I tell you what, here's a good chance for you. Do you reckon Mr. P will get an outside chance of a podium here tonight, Tim?
It is definitely possible. Now we see him going by F1 Richard, and both of them fighting side by side and wheel to wheel. F1 Richard not giving up, but it looks like Mr. P right now has the advantage. But it is very possible to see him get a podium, as right now he is doing very well on those medium tires, and undoubtedly they'll be lasting him to the end of the race, barring any catastrophe. So it could be very possible, but he's going to have to try to pick off the drivers as fast as he can while he has fresh tires, but while managing those tires and trying to not wear them out excessively.
Absolutely. Now the lap delta, now between the softs and mediums, they're about 1.3 seconds. If it's the hard softs, between softs and hards, it's about 2 seconds. So if you're on the medium tyre, you can gain 0.7 of a second of a lap, sorry, 0.7 of a lap here. So if he can play his cards right here, this will be a massive achievement there. I would expect F1 Mr. P to try and push himself into a podium here if he can try and keep that momentum going, because at the moment here he's going at a rate of possibly 7/10 here. I know he's only on the fresh start, but anything could happen here. Anything could happen. As you can see, Mr. P's just coming up to the last corner there, so he's going to be closer to O'Stephen at the moment. So Luke Bailey got to be a sitting duck here. O'Stephen try and make the move. He's overshot the brakes. He's overshot the brakes there, but Luke Bailey. Oh, Luke Bailey. Has O'Stephen made the move? Yes, O'Stephen makes the move. but they still go side by side here with the two in the beds here. They're going to the beds. So Stevens trying to hold on there, but he's made the move into third place here. Tim.
Watching what you're watching now, Luke Bailey trying desperately to get back to O'Steven 002, but not sure if he's going to be able to do it or not. Looks like those hard tires on Luke Bailey just are starting to wear 14 laps on those tires, so undoubtedly less wear, or a worse time of wear than O'Steven has. And Luke Bailey, he started on the soft tires. He had the pole position, started on the soft tires, and now we're seeing the consequences of that. And now I'm even getting to see firsthand, which I wanted to, what soft tire strategy would do.
Yeah, I tell you what. It did say you can do soft hards, but that it wouldn't be the best strategy here, because look at this, Luke Bailey, who had the pole position here, he's going to drop himself back down to 5th place here, because F1 Mr. P, he's on a rampage here. He is in my automatic driver of the day here at the moment, so with the brilliant drive here from the back here into 5th place here. What a drive from Mr. P, and he will go up to 4th place here, try and make the move! And he makes the move! He makes the move to 4th place here. He makes the move to 4th place here. So charge for a podium here for Mr. P here. That'll be his first podium in the F3 League. Well, this is his debut F3 League race here. Same with Vodtech as well. And also Dre Gio in the F3 League as well. But like I said, F1 Mr. P could be on his chance to win his first podium of the F3 League here. But can O'Steven try and hold on and defend here? So, at this moment in time here, we've got 12 laps remaining. 12 laps, O'Steven needs to defend. I reckon if Mr. P plays his cards right here, he could have a chance of a win here tonight. Do you agree?
I have been thinking about that at least for the last lap or two now. Looking at him and looking at the time penalties, Mr. P does not have any time penalties. He only has one warning as of the last time that I checked. And Greg does not have any time penalties as well. So F1 Mr. P, if he can get by O'Steven, like you said, he's going to have to play his cards right, and he might be able to catch Greg. And then after that, with Sir Spud having 6 seconds of time penalties, that might put Mr. P in the winning position. Or if Greg were to pick up a 3-second time penalty, and F1 Mr. P was able to be clean as now, he is making a move on O'Steven 002 going into turn 1, and F1 Mr. P has now made the move on that Mercedes.
Fantastic stuff there from F1 Mr. P. He makes the move there, but we also got another battle there between Luke Bailey and F1 Richard now. Luke Bailey's dropped himself right back down to 6th place now after he started off in the qualifying as the pole sitter here. Good evening to everyone who's joined the session. If you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Wrestling channel for all the live races here tonight. Not only we are live for the F3 League tonight, but we've also got the F2 race tonight on the same channel as well. So make sure you tune in live and exclusive as well, and make sure you like and subscribe as well. But like I said, I would not be surprised at the rate that Mr. P is going at the minute here. He's going to split the Ferraris here. He might have to put a really good qualifying laps here. He was devastated to get DNF in the qualifying, but at the moment here, I reckon he could have a chance to try and get pole position here if he could try and get within 3 seconds of Sir Spud here. Tim.
Yes, definitely, and F1 Mr. P with 5 laps on those, now 6 laps on the medium tires. He has semi-fresh tires, so it's not necessarily out of the question to see him maybe pull off this win. Of course, with him running in the 3rd position now, it is looking very good for a podium at the moment. Meanwhile, Craig 3.6 seconds behind Sir Spud, as you were saying now. And going back down the field now, as it looks like Luke Bailey is actually starting to gain on F1 Richard 67. And he is in DRS range, but will he be able to stay there? Who knows? And meanwhile, just behind them, Tennis is gaining on Dre Gio, just 0.3 seconds separating those two drivers.
Oh, Mr. P's got a 3-second time penalty, Tim. He's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So that will compromise now. So if he wants to win the race, he'll have to get past Sir Spud at this moment in time. With 10 laps remaining, Tim.
Yep, and sadly for F1 Mr. P, it does not look like there is going to be a chance at a win at all after that, because he's still too far away.
Nigel Gash has made, I don't know if he made a mistake or there was some issues at, oh my days, at turn 5 there. So he's dropped himself right back down to 14th place here on 16 laps of the medium tyre. So there was it looked like there was a bit of contact there between. I don't know if there was a bit of contact, sorry, but I don't know if Nigel Gash has lost the back end of that car or if there was any contact during that process there. But at the moment, Nigel Gash drops himself down to 14th place. Tim.
Yes, and I did not see what happened. It does not look like he has any wing damage, but unfortunately for him, he has dropped back very far. Meanwhile, checking back on the battle between Dre Gio and Tennis, it looks like as though Dre Gio has now put some distance between him and that Racing Point machine of Tennis, as now they're going into turn 2, but Tennis just not able to be as close to him as he was a while ago. Meanwhile, F1 Mr. P has gotten within half a second of Craig. So F1 Mr. P now going after Craig. Of course, with having a 3-second time penalty, he is going to have to hope that Craig can pick up a 3-second time penalty as well if he's going to have a chance at this win.
Absolutely. Nigel Gash is the second DNF driver of the race here tonight. It could be after that incident or after that incident there at turn 5 there. So he's out of the race here tonight with the second DNF. So Brennan's was the earlier casualty with the DNF, as well as Nigel Gash now is in the second DNF of the race here. But look at Mr. P there. He's going to have a chance, the shot here for the second place here for getting past Craig 8728 here. Coming up the DRS straight now. DRS straight now. Coming up. Craig's already got defensive now on the inside line now. He's trying to get back onto the racing line here. He's going, Mr. P's going around the outside. No, he's going to try to do the old switcheroo here. He might do the switcheroo. He might have the DRS. He might have the DRS. He needs to do something. Tinnis got a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane now. Oh, there was
contact between the Ferrari and the Haas machine, but Craig was able to hold on to it very nicely.
Yeah, I was sorry about that, Tim. You were spot on there. You were spot on there. Nigel Gash has left the session here. So, F1 Mr. P might have another chance here on Craig here for second place. At the moment in time here, Spud's trying to pull away here on his... I tell you what, this is... Could it be Spud's championship winning season? There's only been one race in, but... It was a former F3 World Drivers' Championship winner a few seasons ago. So can he try and recoup that momentum back in as well? But we have to wait and see what happens here. But it might be the Ferraris who could be the one to look out for the constructors as well. But at the moment here, Mr. P could have a massive opportunity here to try and get good results here into second place here. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to have to get the good exit here of the DRS now. He's got a better exit there. He's got a better exit there against Craig here. Craig will be a sitting duck here. Is he going to try? Mr. P's going for the inside. Trying to make the move. He tried to make the move and he makes the move. He makes the move done. Makes the move done now. But sorry, Tim. What was you going to say?
A little bit of contact there from Craig to F1 Mr. P. Of course, likely not intentional by any means, but just really close racing going into turn 1.
Absolutely stuff over. Luke Bailey trying to close it. F1 Richard now for 5th place here. We're on lap 28 and 35 on the Victorious West League, the F3 League. Who's going to be your winner? Will it be Sir Spud to hold on there, or will it be Mr. P to hold on to get his first ever win in the F3 League on his debut race season? Or we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Will there be any shocks along the way here? Will we see anyone try and get into the podium stuff? We'll have to wait and see, find out in a moment or two on lap 28. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel for all the live races here. Don't miss out too much. Tim.
Yeah, and right now I'm just watching F1 Mr. P really not pulling away from Craig as much as he'd probably like to. Craig's still within the DRS zone range, so going down front straightaway now. Going to see what happens here as Craig will have the DRS. Going to see if he will be able to take advantage of it using the slipstream to try to get to him. Going into turn 1, not that close to him. Of course, there's another DRS zone coming up, and we'll see what happens there.
You have to wait and see if Craig can try and bounce back here. If he does not want to break out of that DRS zone, he does not want to break out of that DRS zone, because if he does, Mr. P will shot over to try and get into Sir Spud as quickly as possible here. We've got a couple of battles going on here. Tinnis has got the fastest up the race now with 120.2. However, he's outside the top 10, so if it stays like this, you only get the fastest lap point if you're in the top 10. At the moment, he's just got back into the 10th place here with that ding-dong battle here with BW Clyde as well. So where's BW Clyde? BW Clyde trying to close it on Tinnis now for 10th place here, and also Luke Bailey trying to close in F1 Richard now after that struggle at about the last 5-6 laps ago, where he lost out in the podium to back down to 6th place here. Tim.
Yes, and watching now as F1 Mr. P is now pulling away from Craig. He is over a second, so F1 Mr. P still might be able to get a win here. It's going to be very close, though, as it is lap 30, about to be 31, or excuse me, lap 30, going into 31 next time. So Spud having a 4-second lead right now over Mr. P. So right now, I do believe that it's going to be between Mr. P and Craig as far as who wins this race.
We have to wait and see what happens here. But both drivers, the top two drivers, have got at least 3 seconds worth of penalties in this race here. But anything could happen here tonight. Anything could happen here during the race here at the Hungarian Grand Prix here. Tinnis has got another fastest lap of the race now with 119.9. He really wants to try and get fastest into at least decent points here on the start of the brand new season of the race. So we're on lap 30-35 at the moment here. So Spud's in the lead with first place. Mr. P, a brilliant drive from him. He'll be automatically my driver of the day. I don't know who would be your driver of the day at the moment here, Tim, but we will ask you in a moment or two. Craig is in third place. Stevens in fourth place. F1 Richard is in fifth place. Luke Bailey is in sixth place, which I'm just watching now. Andre Gio's in 7th, Sigurd Olsen is in 8th, Nice Niels is in 9th, Tinnis is in 10th. So we've got two lots of the constructors joining teammates are together there between 7th and 10th place. Peter McLeod is in 11th, Mike is in 12th, Steele is in 13th, Vontek is in 14th place, with Nitrogas and Brennos as the earlier casualties with the DNFs as well. Tim, who's been your driver of the day at the moment here so far?
I mean, there's no question. It's just I have to go with Richard, and I'm going to have to give it to F1 Mr. P, because from starting, I can't remember if it was 15th or 16th, but he was not able to even really qualifying lap because he just had some issues to where he DNF'd from the session, and now he has made an impressive rebound to the second position with a chance to walk away with the win here. Absolutely stuff there, but at this moment in time, the tyre wear, the mediums can last about 23 laps. So either way, he's over, coming up to the halfway marker here of the tyre wear span as well. But he's going to have to put so much effort into proper qualifying laps to try and get even closer to Spud here at this moment in time here. But at this moment, with lap 31, 35, I tell you what, would you have had a bet on with Mr. P to win the first race had he started right at the back of 16th place, Tim? No, I would not have bet on him winning the race. I would have bet on him maybe getting into about a top 6 position, but not being able to win. And right now, it is looking like that is going to become a possibility. Remember, he has a 3-second time penalty where Craig has 0. Of course, Sir Spud with a 6-second time penalty. So if Mr. P is able to gain another half a second over Craig and keep it until the end of the race, Mr. P will be your winner, barring any time penalties that he picks up from now until then. So he's going to have to drive a really patient race, a really smart race.
So, just to clarify, so Spud has got 6 seconds worth of penalties, is that correct?
That is correct.
So Spud, right, interesting stuff now. So Mr. P, 3 seconds. He's only 4 tenths off between himself and Craig. If he doesn't get the 3-second barrier at this moment in time, Craig could win the first race of the brand new season. Oh my days. Our minds are going to be absolutely explode here because we don't know what to expect here between the top 3 drivers here. Still watching Luke Bailey and F1 Richard on our screens at the moment here, and Mike and Peter McLeod are having a ding-dong battle there for 11th and 12th at this moment in time. But I don't know which one to pick at this moment. Will Craig get the first win of the brand new season, Or would Sir Spud do it? Or would Mr. P do it on his start of a debut race here? Who do you pick? Oh.
I don't know, but I'm almost thinking that Craig is listening to the broadcast or something, because he seems to be picking up the pace now. It looked as though Mr. P was a shoe-in, a sure thing to get that 3-second gap, but now it is looking like now Craig is, like I said, picking up the pace. 2.7 seconds separating them, 2.8 now. So it is so close with just 2 laps to go here in this race, or excuse me, 3 laps to go.
Someone's had a yellow flag at sector 1, I believe, and now sector 2. So yellow flags sector 2, I'm not sure where they're coming from. We've got green flags at turn 5.
It is Vojtek. He was the other driver who was not able to make a lap in the qualifying session, so he started at the back, and he has the fastest lap in the race, but he has fun.
Oh my days. Oh my days. We could not see on my screen what happened there, but it was one of the drivers. Yellow flag sector 2 again. Yellow flag sector 2 again. Vojtek has gone off the track there to try and let some of the drivers through here. Mr. P has passed the 3-second barrier. Tim, he's passed the 3-second barrier between himself and Craig now. Can he win the race?
All he has to do, I'm sorry, Matt, but yes, all he has to do is hold that. It is so close. I do not know if these two drivers even know what is at stake here, but it is so very close. Craig now 2.7 seconds behind F1 Mr. P.
Here we go. Oh, Stephen could have a chance here. Actually, you know what? If Stephen can get past Craig and gets under 3 seconds here, he can win the race. He can win the race. Oh my days! Stephen could for 4th place. Oh, this is the penultimate lap here. Penultimate lap. Oh, you don't know what to do here. You don't know what to do. But Craig's lost the 3-second barrier. If Stephen can get past Craig here, he needs to do it now. I'm going to watch it from Stephen's point of view here. He needs to get past Craig now if he wants to try and get closer to Mr. P. And even hitting the 3-second barrier here. Oh my days. I don't know what to do, Tim. I don't know what to do.
And this is just crazy. I did not think that Stephen was that close until you mentioned it now. But yes, he in fact is, and he has the DRS on Craig, and he is starting to gain on him big time as they head down into turn 1. So very, very close. And he's going to try to make the move, but not able to do it this time around.
Oh, I did not want it there. He did not want it there. At the moment here. Oh my days. I don't know which one to pick here. Well, whatever happens here. Oh my days. Look at... Stephen. Stephen nearly went for the move there. So at this moment in time, F1 Mr. P will be the new winner of the race here. Where is he now? So Spud's coming up to that point in time here. Mike has got into 11th place here. So we've got a couple of battles going on here, and we need to make the moves now. They need to make the moves at this moment in time. But at the moment, Sir Spud will drop down to 2nd place. Mr. P could be the new winner here. But at the moment here, we're just going to watch it from Sir Spud's point of view here. At the moment, he is the driver in the lead here. But he won't get the 5-second barrier here. 6-second barrier. Tinnis has got 3-second time down to multiple warnings here. Like I said, congratulations to Sir Spud for crossing the line. However, Mr. P, no! Oh! Mr. P lost it by a 10th. Mr. P has lost it by a 10th. Sir Spud's won the race. Sir Spud has won the race. Sir Spud has won the race, Tim.
And I mean, congratulations to Sir Spud, but I'm not sure how that works out, because Sir Spud does in fact have 6 seconds worth of time penalties. I have checked, I've done the math, but in fact, Sir Spud has won the race, and this is an unexpected development.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see about the penalty stuff after the race here. But like I said, Mr. P in 2nd place, Craig is in 3rd place, Stephen 4th, F1 Richard 5th, Luke Bailey is in 6th, Synchronicity 7th, Dre G out on his debut race in 8th place, Mike is in 9th, Peter McLeod is in 10th, Tinnis is in 11th, Nice News is in 12th, Steele is in 13th, and Vojtek is in 14th place. Coming up to the final corner now. But that is quite interesting stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. That's just absolutely insane stuff here from that point in time. But we will have to have another look at the penalty stuff while we go through the standings there. If you don't mind having a quick look. when we get the standings up, Tim. We'll go through the standings as we speak. But well done to Spud at what we're watching now. Well done to Spud, who's just won by a 10th there to win the brand new season of the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League. Well done to...
Yes,
sorry, Tim.
Sorry, Mike, but congratulations to Dean on Sir Spud, who's finishing in first with F1 Mr. right now, coming in the second position after starting dead last on the grid in the 16th position. Craig, of course, in the third position at Ferrari. Steven 002 in fourth. F1 Richard 67 in fifth. Red Bull of Luke Bailey 14 and 6th. Synchronously in the Renault in the 7th position. Another Renault just behind him of Dre Gio in the 8th position. 9th is Mike SI in the Haas machine. The Alfa Romeo of BWA Clyde in the 10th position. Tennis in 11th in the Racing Point. Another Racing Point. Nice Nails in 12th. 13th is Steel B in the Mercedes Alfa Romeo of Bodgetech in the 14th position. 15th is Nitro Gash in the Red Bull, and 16th is Brennan in the McLaren. Of course, Nitro Gash and Brennan's both having a DNF in this session. Bodgetech ended with the fastest lap. I am pretty sure that confirmation has yet to be confirmed, but it does look like Bodgetech will have the fastest lap, but no points awarded to him because he did not finish in the top 10.
Absolutely stuff there. I'm just going to go through quickly before it closes down with the penalty stuff here. But so Spud had 3 seconds at lap 4. So Spud another 3 seconds as well. Mr. P had 3 seconds there as well. So we'll have to check on the timing stuff as well to see what actually happened there. But at this moment in time, I'm going to invite Sir Spud, F1 Mr. P, and also Craig for their podium stuff as well. So I'm just going to invite the winner, and then which we both agree the driver of the day, commentators driver of the day is definitely F1 Mr. P for that brilliant performance there from the back as well into second place. Sorry, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth already here. Hopefully,
and it was the time penalty by Mr. P. Actually, looking back down.
Sorry, Tim. What was that? Sorry.
Mr. P had picked up the 3-second time penalty that had cost him the win, and so where he just barely missed it out by a 10th. And
Absolutely. I'm not sure if Mr. P is going to join us here. He's in another room at the minute, so I'm hoping he'll try and join us as quickly as possible here. But we'll try and invite the 2 Ferraris as well. But we'll try our best to try and get Mr. P into the room if he can try. Just have to wait and see what happens here tonight. But yeah, we're just waiting for more information. If you bear with us a sec, while Tim will talk about his thoughts of the race tonight before we do the interview with the drivers here.
Well, it was definitely a crazy race. Congratulations to Sir Spud, of course, for winning that race. And F1 Mr. P coming in so very close after starting from the back of the grid. And that is, the in-your-face story of the race. And it was just so amazing. We were on the edge of our seats. And that really is just what racing in the Invictus Racing League is all about, if you ask me. That was, every lap, hard racing throughout the entire field, and the race just coming down to the wire to the last lap.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there. We're just still waiting for Mr. P to join us. If he's not, we will have to do the interviews with the guys here of the 2 Ferraris. So at the moment here, so Spud, Craig, can you please make sure you got your loud voice to be shared? Is set to always allow. If you're not, please do that as soon as possible. Well, we'll try and do that. He'll have to come off his party for him to join ours. Bear with me a sec, guys. Bear with me a sec. So we do apologise, guys. We will try and do the invites for try and get Mr. P in as quickly as possible. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to speak to Sir Spud, who just won the Hungarian Grand Prix. And then we'll talk to, hopefully, Mr. P to join us in a moment or two. And then also Craig to talk about his thoughts of the third place. Before we carry on, Mr. P, before you say anything else, can you please make sure your allow voice is to be shared is always set to allow. If you're not sure how to do that, go to the party settings. On there's an option to say always allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow before we start.
Yeah, it's on.
Nice one. So, I'm going to talk to Sir Spud, then Mr. P, and then Craig for their thoughts of the race tonight. Sir Spud, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Absolutely fantastic, Malk.
Fantastic. How does it feel to win the brand new season of the brand new F3 League at the Hungarian Grand Prix? Tell us your thoughts.
It feels absolutely great. It's a late birthday present because I didn't win yesterday, so
So
a win tonight is like a late birthday present.
Better late than never, Sir Spud.
Better late than never.
Yeah, that's a brilliant stuff. Did you feel like you nearly lost the win here tonight based on the pace from Mr. P and from Craig tonight?
Yes, I did, because I knew I had 2 penalties. I knew Mr. P only had 1. I knew Craig wouldn't have any. I needed at least. Then when I did check later in the lap, later in the race, Mr. P had 1. I thought, well, I need at least 3 seconds, and I only just did it by 10th.
I bet you was relieved after that.
I was really like, oh, no, I've got no ERS left, I've got no fuel, I've got to run bare minimum. And I just managed just to get the last bit.
Fair dues. You know, at one point there was 4 drivers in congestion for in contested, or whatever you call it, into first place here for the win here tonight. That was just immense stuff, like with your penalties and everyone's galore here. At one point, you and Craig had a ding-dong battle here for the battle of the Ferraris here. Was it just race on position, or was it just team orders at that point?
Well, Craig out qualified me, so if I had the chance, I'd let him go first, and I had no other choice in the first corner. I had to let a couple through.
Yeah.
I managed to keep the position behind Craig, and then I was just following Craig, keeping my ERS low, just to stay in the draft while we was catching Luke Bailey. And as soon as his tyres went, that was it. Craig made the pounce. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to go for it as well.
Fair dues.
He pitted, and then I just pitted a lap before Craig. I thought, well, the undercut's pretty strong here. I thought, right, if he doesn't go in this lap, I'm going in. Well, he carried on round, so I thought, right, I've got to pit and just try and do the quickest out lap I can.
Fair dues.
I think we came out virtually side by side.
Yes.
And turn 1, I gave plenty of room. Turn 2, I think I did drift a little bit wide. I did feel a little bit of a tap. I don't know whether Craig had any damage or anything, but as I turned the corner, I was just turning, I was like just drifting. I was like, no.
You did. You drifted
I just getting the elbows out, Craig. And from there, I just had to try and catch Luke Bailey, and then managed to overtake him, and then I knew Craig would catch him.
Fair dues.
Which pulled a bit of a gap, so I had a bit of a buffer. So from then, I just had to try and keep a gap.
That, like I said, that was a late birthday present for you, Sir Spud, and that was a great win at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Like I said, you nearly lost the win by a 10th. You was so lucky by a 10th. But I tell you what, Sir Spud, if it's going to be like this throughout the remainder of the season, well, throughout the whole season of the F3 League, I can't wait for this battle here as well. I can't wait for it as well. Usual 2 questions for the 2 questions normally for the next track, which is the German Grand Prix. What is your thoughts of the German track, and what are your expectations for next week?
German's pretty good for me, actually. I do like the track, so I am hoping for a podium again, despite if there's any incidents or anything. But I've got to try and cut down my penalties. That's what's causing me too much pressure towards the end of the races. and that's when I make my mistakes. But luckily, I didn't make any tonight. So, but yeah, I'm looking for the top 3.
Absolutely fantastic stuff there. So Spud, congratulations on your win tonight at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I wish you all the very best of luck throughout the whole season of the F3 League. Well done for tonight, mate. Brilliant stuff. You can stay if you want.
Yeah, I'll stay. Yeah.
Oh, what was you going to say? Sorry, Spud, quickly.
Congratulations to Mr. P and Craig.
Oh, brilliant.
Some good points for the team as well.
Fantastic stuff, so Spud. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time of the questions tonight. F1, Mr. P. How you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm knackered.
You're knackered?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, bloody hell. I bet you was absolutely... You've got to be absolutely delighted for a podium after you started right at the back there. So tell us your thoughts of that race.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. Obviously qualifying didn't go to plan at all. So yeah, starting right at the back. So started on the hards. My original plan was to go really, really long and then go on to a set of softs at the end. But when everyone pitted, obviously I was out in the league, still on the hards, and I saw what the gaps are like. I thought, why risk it? Come in for a set of mediums and then try and close them down and overtake them. But yeah, what a race! What a race! I had a little tap with Craig on one of the left-handers. Sorry about that, Craig. But yeah, I'm over the moon. Absolutely over the moon with it.
Brilliant stuff, Mr. P. I think this has been your first ever F3 League race, and you're on your way to win your first ever podium, which could have been your first ever win in the F3 League as well. So here's the thoughts now. I would have liked to see what would happen if you did not have that DNF at the qualifying. Would you have gone even past the Spud at that point in time? We'll have to wait and see for the next round of the next lot of races coming up soon. But has it been your best battle tonight, Mr. P? What was your best battle of the race?
There wasn't an awful load of battles going on, really, to be honest, because obviously I was on the hard, so a lot of people, I made a few passes. I think I was up to about 8th by the time all the top guys started to make their stops from the mediums onto the hard. So when they all pitted, obviously I naturally just gained the lead. The only real battling was obviously when I went onto the mediums and had to overtake the guys in front, but I think most of them were done down into turn 1, so there wasn't like massive battles. It was just a case of picking way through the field, really.
Absolutely, Mr. P. I know this is your first race. That is, if that's what you're going to produce throughout the whole season, not starting from the back, obviously, but if you could produce some good biggest moves as well, and to get into the podium stuff as well, you could be in for a chance of winning the Drivers' Championship if you can be consistent in the podium stuff as well. But we have to wait and see what happens, Mr. P. Because I've known you for like many years, same with Spud, same with Craig as well, and same with some of the guys here, because I've known you for like many years, so I knew what to expect from you, Mr. P, from the podium stuff. So, usual 2 questions, Mr. P. German Grand Prix. What are your thoughts of the track, and what are your expectations for next week?
I like the track, obviously if I was going to put high expectations up there, then I'd like to fight for another podium, but I've got to be realistic. It's only the second race in. There's plenty of drivers that are capable of wins and podiums within the lineup, so I'll just go out there, do my best. I feel like I'm starting to bring back the racing that I always used to be able to do. I know I've been a bit hit and miss over the last season, so that's a massive confidence booster going forward into Germany.
Absolutely, Mr. P. Like I say, can I just say, I'm sure myself and Tim, congratulations on your podium tonight. Brilliant drive from you, and we'll say this now, you are our commentators' driver of the day, but I'm sure everyone else will vote. So that's our
cheers, guys.
So because of the amount of battle that you had to do from the start, especially what happened with the qualifying as well, you are gutted that you missed out by 10, because I won't say too much about that, because I don't want to spoil it as well. But Mr. P, congratulations for second place. Congratulations. I wish you all the very best of luck for the remainder of the season as well. And if you can stay if you want, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But nice one. Nice one. Thank you very much. Craig, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Tell us your thoughts of the race tonight in your own words.
A bit mixed feelings, to be honest with you. Bit disappointed missing out on the win, particularly when it's 7/10 of a second when you look at the penalties they Spud and Mr. P. So, yeah, a bit of mixed feelings. Just concentrating when I went into the first to just try and open up the gap. Just watching for the guys coming through on the hard tyre, which would obviously be quick later on, which we've seen that Mr. P's actually accomplished and taking second. So yeah, mixed feelings.
Okay, I know you got the mixed feelings there, Craig, but where did you think you not say lost it, but where did you felt like you missed out on the win? At which point at the lap?
As soon as Spud went in for the undercut, I knew he probably likely to come out or come back onto track just behind them. So I was quite surprised to come out alongside them, but because he'd done that extra lap, his tyres were already at race temperature, so it was really just trying to squeeze him and survive down into turn 2 and then just hold him behind me. But Spud managed to get it done round the outside, and from then on he just disappeared into the sunset.
Fair enough, Craig. Because you, like I said, I was saying earlier to Susport, was it team orders or was it just fight for position on track? So by the looks of it, it was fight for position.
No, it was definitely no team orders. I think we were fortunate at the start that Spud just tucked in behind me. I think it was clear he had the better straight line speed. They certainly had the better traction coming out the last corner.
Yeah.
And I think he was just holding position, just getting the DRS and just trying to open up the gap to Stephen, Mr. P and Luke Bailey, who were chasing behind. And both those guys just waited till they were on the opportune moment, and both of them just took it, and congratulations to the two of them.
Absolutely.
Masterful strategy from two of them.
Fantastic stuff, Craig. Fair play to you as well. One more question actually before we do the usual two questions.
Sure.
It's the strategy. Did you feel like you could have done a little bit different, or did you feel like that was the best that you could have done tonight?
I gave everything.
Fair enough.
Everything. I think it was vital because of the nature of the track to try and stay penalty free, which I've done, and the last couple of laps as I saw Mr. P just disappearing, I was hoping just to stay within that 3 second, but with Stephen closing down, lost a little bit of time, tried to hold him off as well.
Yeah.
So Stephen certainly put me under a little bit of pressure at the end, but and that's where the relief and that's where the satisfaction starting the season with a podium. But I just gave it everything, but it just wasn't to be tonight.
Oh, absolutely. But Craig, can I just say, before I say anything else, but well done for getting third place tonight. It's still a great start to a podium for the brand new league of the F3 League of this season at the Invictus Racing League. So it's still a massive boost when you think about it for the podium stuff. But I know I can understand.
It is. It's a great double podium for Ferrari. Always good to start the season at the top of the constructors. And hopefully we can continue that top form, particularly after a disappointing pre-season.
Absolutely fantastic stuff, Craig. Congratulations on getting third place.
Thank you.
Usual two questions before we wrap it all up. The German Grand Prix. What are your thoughts of the track, and what are your expectations for next week?
Track pretty similar to Hungary, very tight, quite hard to overtake. Obviously that run down towards the hairpin is the best opportunity. So yeah, I think getting the best out of qualifying and just keep it clean through turns 1, 2, 3 as well, and just watching for guys getting the toe down towards the hairpin. So it's going to be a lot of concentration again. Try to stay penalty free as well. So I'll be happy with a top 5 finish, but like Mr. P said earlier on, this is an extremely close grid. There's multiple race winners on that grid, and it all depends who turns up on the night and puts on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, are you and Spud going to be good friends now off track as well as on track with the two Ferraris battling out?
I don't think it was an incident similar to Vettel and Leclerc, but he was certainly entitled to take that inside line. I think he just understeered on the hard tyres, just a wee knock.
Yeah.
It was similar to the knock I tried to give Mr. P when he didn't turn one. I was just trying to push him wide, but he got the move done. He was on the quicker compound, and he pulled the move off. So great work from Mr. P there.
Fair dues, Craig. I like all the drivers' honesty there, and that's what I like to hear, and that's what we all like to see as well. But that was some fair driving there. So well done for third place, Craig. I wish you all the very best of luck for the remainder, for the season as well at the Invictus Race League, the F3 League. So let's hope we have a cracker as well. You can stay if you want, Craig, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But thank you for tonight.
Thank you.
So, I'd like to thank Sir Spud, F1 Mr. P and Craig for their podium crashes at the commentary box as well. What a race, Tim. That was just an absolutely belter of a race, don't you agree?
Yeah, it was just absolutely crazy, honestly. From the first lap to the last, and, there was no shortage of action in the race yesterday, and definitely no shortage of action today.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. And we'll just do our quick overview of the race tonight. Luke Bailey, who took the qualifying position into first place there, he had a brilliant start with the softs. However, the tyre wear was a little bit down near probably about lap 6-7, so he had to go on the hards all the way to the end of the race. So he did manage to get into sixth place there. But, however, Mr. P, who our commentator's driver of the day, went from right at the back after he had the unfortunate DNF at the qualifying into second place. So that was a massive boost on his debut race for the F3 League as well. And then you've got Sir Spud Craig in the top three with the Ferrari team, so the Ferraris will be for the Ferrari, shall we say, into pole position there, so in their constructors as well. But Sir Spud will be the new leader of the Drivers' Championship as well after tonight's race of the Hungarian Grand Prix. What a race. It was an absolute belt of a race as well. I can't wait. I just cannot wait, Tim, for the remainder, for all the races. I hope it gets as close to this as possible. Even at one point, O'Stephen nearly had the win if he had caught with the penalties galore there as well. It was just on the edge of your seat. So congratulations to all the F3 drivers. What a brilliant race. Thank you to everyone that was watching the stream there, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Race League channel for all the live races there, and make sure you get up to date. This was the Invictus Racing League. This was the F3 League at the glorious race of the Hungarian Grand Prix. I was your host with the most, Malcolm, with the legendary, the greatest American commentator of them all, Tim. I wish you all a very good night. Good night, guys. Ta-ra a bit.